Welcome to the Show Up Challenge for all this month. Are you excited? I am excited. It was really nice yesterday. I was a little surprised about how the video and the day went. It was the first time I doing a live from my desk. So I've always done it from my cell phones. But welcome to day number 2, showing up, the showing up in your life and everywhere, in every way, in all areas possible. So we are in the Propelled to Greatness group, and we're going to be coming here every day all the month of July. And so it's just so exciting to be here and to share all of that with you. We're also in the second half of the year. I forgot to even mention that yesterday, but the second half of the year, and so much has happened in the first half, a lot that we weren't aware of. And just we had all of these plans, and I'm sure you all had your word for the year. And as a matter of fact, let me know what your word for the year is. Put it in the chat and let me know. So you may see me, like I mentioned to you yesterday, look to the left or to the right. I have some notes. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. The other thing too is also the third quarter of the year. And in most business terms, they look at each quarter of the year and they plan their business strategies and so forth out. But it also the third quarter for our lives personally as well. We need to get started if we haven't gotten started with all the plans that we had for the year. But first, I want to welcome our new members. We actually have a total of 7 new members. The first one is Lakia. Thank you, Lakia, and welcome for coming in. And also Eric was joining us. They became new members yesterday, and then we had, I believe it was 5 or 7 new members that came in overnight. Looking forward to welcoming you all and seeing you all here in the group. So, here's what I want to ask you about the truth. And this is what we're going to talk about today, the truth about who you are. Who are you? And what is it about yourself that you always wanted for yourself? Who are you really? And so, what that basically means is your lights. A light for you to think about taking a sheet, or you could take your cell phone and just to make a note and make a list. Just do a brain dump of who you are and what are some of the things that you like and what are some of the things that you dislike. Like, I'll just take myself for an example. It was probably, oh gosh, about maybe 5 or 10 years ago that I realized, and I got one here. I realized that I actually like tassel. Just grab this. I like tassels. And I was actually with my niece out. If you all can see this, I was out with my niece and dropped it. And she had this keychain and it had a tassel on it. And oh my gosh, I wanted it. And it stayed with me. And I never knew that about myself. I just realized that. And then I also like things that are on a pedestal. And I've bought a couple things here just to share with you. I like things that are on a pedestal that has a base, and that's really simple. But just make a list of some of the things that you, or not some of the things, all the things. You want to get a brain dump and get all of that out of your mind. Also, make a list of things that you do not like. And this is so that you can clear your mind. You want to get rid of all of the stresses and the stressors that are in your life. There may be some nagging thoughts and just the thoughts that come out of your head. If you take a moment, just pause and take a moment and think about those different things that really bother you, the things that you really wish was in your life or not in your life. Take a moment and write those down or make a list in your phone. It's going to clear your mind so that you are able to think about what you really want. And once those lists is out of your mind and you've made that list, then the next thing you want to do is write those dreams that I would say insurmountable, the things that are just out of your head, but it was something that you've always wanted to do. I have to share with you something I didn't realize until probably about, I would say about 5 years ago. When I was about 20, 21, you're right around 2021, I actually wanted to own a boat. Can you believe that? I wanted to own a boat at that age. I didn't have one. I lived in an apartment at that time. I wasn't looking at buying a home, but I actually wanted a boat. And I would go to the boat stores in the area, and I would just look around and just go up and down the aisles and see. It was just something that I always wanted to own. I like the water and I like being on the water, but I knew nothing about the boat, about owning a boat or operating a boat, driving a boat. And I figured that if I would be in those areas, in those stores, or around people who do boating, that I would pick it up. But of course, that didn't happen for me. It was, I didn't realize it was mostly men. I didn't see any women there who like boating. So I put that idea on the side. But I was really interested, but it never left my mind. And then it got rekindled when I met my husband, and I still want to own a boat. So that's something about me as well. And you can do that. Something that's, I would say, just your wildest dream, something that you always thought you wanted. Here's another one also. I always wanted to own a building. Yes, not a condo, not a house, but an office building about 7 to 10 stories high. I just wanted to own something that was, I don't know, it's an interest of mine. And so I started to the process of studying real estate. My plan was to go into commercial real estate, but that still did not happen for me. Regardless, that was an interest and a passion of mine. So I would say, again, I have renewed my interest now. The other thing that you want to do is make a list of your pet peeves, things that bother you, things that really irk you. Like, I have a passion for being on time and actually or not being late. Can't say that's not going to happen all the time, but that's just something about myself. Again, just being about true to yourself. This is just the start of clearing, because a lot of times we have something on our mind or something that could be bothering us, and we have no idea that we're really stressed by it. It's really bothering us. So I would suggest make a list and do that. Okay, so I know I'm repeating myself, but I really want you to get that down. And I remember I mentioned earlier something about us having a word for the year. Every year towards the end of the year, or at least right around September, October, people start to think about what they're going to plan for the next year. And what I want to ask you is, what was your word or is your word for this year that you started off with? And we all was excited and gung ho and getting prepared and planned for this year. The other areas also that you can consider is the areas that you may not like or may dislike or have a pet peeve about you in your financial life or in your physical life, your body or your surroundings, your home, or just those areas. It's important, again, to be true to who you are. How this came about just yesterday, I was speaking with a friend of mine, and she was just a little unsure about the state that she was in, but she had feelings, but she was not able to describe what those feelings were. So I spent the time talking with her and explaining what they are and putting words to what her feelings might be. And the interesting thing is, she said, "Oh, yeah, you're right." So I gave her an assignment and I said to her, same thing I'm saying and sharing with you here. You need to spend some time with yourself. So take a sheet of paper or just to make a list and be true to who you really are and put words to it. And if it means that you have to go to the dictionary, if it means that you have to go to the thesaurus, or even if you have to do a search online, it's really important for you to articulate or describe what it is that's really concerning you. So the more I talk with her, we're probably on the phone for about an hour. She said that she really needs to do that because she wanted to make a decision. It was a life-changing decision, but she needed to get some clarity. So I'm actually expecting to speak with her again over the weekend. And it is my hope that she did that assignment and made that list. So again, the same thing with you, clearing out of your mind, getting out of those pet peeves, identifying the things that you dislike. You'll be surprised that once those are out on paper. So I have an action step for you. And my action step is to make a list of 10, yes, 10, just said it, 10 items, 10 areas, 10 different things in your life or aspects of your life that you or dislike. It's a simple brain dump. And I want you to put them inside of the group. So you can take some time today when you're on break or you just take a moment. We all should take a moment and just make a list of those things. So there's going to be 10 items. They can be in your financial life. They can also be, I just realized that the sun is rising and let me scoot up a little. Wow, I didn't see that. That's interesting. Wow. I did not know that. Okay. So I off track a little bit. 10, the list of 10 things in your family or things that you like to do, places you like to go. Like I love the museums. That may be boring to some people, but I love the museums. And I happen to be a person that likes to look at every single thing, all the little artifacts, all the little displays. I want to read every single word. I want to sit there and digest what it all means and what it could have or would have been. I That's the kind of person I am when it comes to the museums, but it's fun for me. In addition to, of course, the water. I love the water. In your physical life, I mentioned, and also in your spiritual life. So just make a list of all of those different things. And again, put them in the chat. And with tomorrow being the eve of Independence Day, I'm probably going to have something a little special about related to just how you can be more independent in your life and just showing up in those aspects. Okay. So again, I'm babbling. I don't have it all clear yet. I had some notes on it, but I don't know. I'll pull them out to look at it. So this has been really fun. I'm really glad that you are here. I see I have one person here, but I don't see the name of that person who is here. Welcome. And thank you for coming in, for chiming in. And definitely you can pick this up on the replay. Again, showing up in your life, it is the best thing that you can do for you. So you are able to succeed and be successful in all aspects of your life. Have a good day, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow on day 3.